3 semitone backward. That means major scale is 3 years older than minor scale. Any music that does not talk about a god is not religious based as secular music. You remember the title of our course?
Compositional
arrangements. Okay, so it's the basis of production, basis of music compositions and all. E is a tone higher than C. We said E is what? Two tone higher than C. Then what about F?
F is 3 tone higher than C. It's not 3 tone.
So if you look at it, this to this
is half S.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 semitone. If you want to bring out, you say 2 tone and 1 semitone. Assignment would be what? Search and read about interval in music. We are talking about the difference between one note and the other, but it's relating them in pitch. That's music theory, but it's good for you to just read it to have better knowledge of what we are saying. But in this class, we are not diving too much in it, but we want you to understand that a note is different from another note because their pitch is different. That's all. The next one is scale. And yesterday too, we mentioned scale.
Yeah.
So what is scale?
Scale is a distance between a tone and a scale.
We're talking about scale to measure fish yesterday.
Yeah.
Scale to measure weight yesterday. Abi?
Yeah.
All those. So what were we talking about?
We're talking about the C sharp, D flat.
No. What is responsible for the difference in sounds of different music? This song is from South Africa. This song is from, I can identify them. It is because of their scale that I could see those difference. If Rema is singing, you know Rema, you know there is a way he sings. What causes that difference? Because of the scale he's using. You understand? And his song, as long as he keep composing song on that scale, his song will be sounding that way. Do you get it? So that is the effect of scale. But what is scale? Yesterday we also talked about types of scale. We talked about major scale
and chromatic
scale. But what is scale itself? Scale is an alphabetical row of sound, either in ascending
or
descending order. So the first word there is
alphabetic of sound.
So it's an alphabetic row of sound, alphabetical row. So when you say row, it means something is lined up. Abi? Now it means alphabetical row means alphabets are being lined up. Of sound means that those alphabets are not just alphabets, they are alphabets that produces sound. You understand? And this time we are not just talking about sound, but we are talking about musical sounds. Okay? Now, major scale is what? If we read major scale, it will be what? Do, go on.
Do,
re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now I'm putting one here because this do is the same thing as do. The difference is what?
The
pitch. Okay. Now, if you look at it, anybody that is not musical, just give him or her this thing. What will he say? He will say D R M F S L T D. So it's an alphabet, but we do not call it D or R or M. But those rows must make sound, and these are the sound. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay? Now, as it is now, if we shift everything like this, just shift it to the front or shift it upward, you notice that the pitch of everything will change For example, if we start Do on C, you see, and you know that the pitch of D is different from the pitch of C. So if we now start the same Do on D, the pitch has changed. This one will not remain where it is. Automatically, this one too will what?
Change.
We shift. Everything will shift. So, for example, if C is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, you see, and this is Do, this one will become Do, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. You are not following me. Do, go. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. You are not there. Ti, 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 Do, 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 remains small. Do, remains. That's it. Do. Do you get it? So, and if you keep shifting it downward too, everything will be shifting. But the thing is that, you know, as you are bringing it downward, they are shifting in respect to one another. That means the distance between Do and Re will not change. It's the same thing. The distance between Re and Mi will not change. Distance between Mi and Fa will not change. But now, because I'm shifting it downward, this everything will have a lower pitch. Because I'm shifting it upward, everything will begin to have a higher pitch. That's why you are doing Do, because it's getting higher, because we are moving higher. But if you are coming down, it will be more convenient for you to be coming down. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
So scale in general term is an alphabetical row of sound, either in ascending or descending order. So we have different types of scale. We talked about major scale yesterday. We said the rule of major scale is that between the first and second, we can label it, number it. If we want to number in music, we don't number in numeric like this. We number it in Roman figure by saying high, 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 high V, V, V high, V high, high, V high, high, high. This is the right numbering system for music. Now, between the first and the second, there is a tone distance. Between the second and third, there is a tone distance. What about the third and fourth?
Semitone.
Good. Semitone distance. What about this? Tone distance, tone distance, tone distance, and the last one is
Also semitone distance.
semitone distance. Put this on key C. You will find out that this is the arrangement of the black note. 2 black notes, 3 black notes. That is why you have this having a semitone distance. Those white notes that follow each other. But once you leave key C, the arrangement will change because those black notes are not, they are only arranged according to key C on a major scale. But once you leave that arrangement, every other thing will start coming up into this sequence. You get it now? So this is the major scale sequence. We have other scale. Another scale is called the minor scale. Minor scale is said to be a sister or a brother to, let's say, a sister to a major scale. Major scale is the brother, the senior brother, but minor scale is the younger sister of a major scale. So therefore, he has a tender sound. You know, women, they are fragile and nasty younger one. So you got a pet them. You understand it? So it has a softer sound, tender sounds, more emotional, more romantic, more, you understand? And this is the type of scale they use mostly in secular music. It's called the minor scale. So how do we relate it to major? We said it's the younger sister of major scale because everything you find in major scale, you also find it in minor scale. Okay? But the difference is that instead of minor scale starting from do, right, is starting from
major scale is starting from do.
Yes. So instead of minor scale starting from do now, is starting from 3 semitone backward to a major scale. 3 semitone backward. That means major scale is 3 years older than minor scale. Let's put it that way. Okay. So if major scale is do, because we want to read it backward, let's use this do. So if we take 3 steps backward, you have 1, 2, 3. So if you look at that 1, 2, 3, that will give you 3 semitone backward. Look at it from here. We are talking about this note. So it is a tone plus semitone, which will give you what? 3 semitones. Do you get that? So minor scale therefore starts with La. The next note is what? Ti, do, re, mi, fa, so, la. Starts with La and ends on La. Now read this one. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la. This is where this is starting from. Now let's read this. La, ti, do, re.
Still going higher.
It has to go. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. You see? Again. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Right? Now, if we now look at it, the meaning of scale is that it can go in ascending or descending. It means we can read it back. That means La, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. Now, if I want to put that in a song, look at it. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. Compare it to this rugged man. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Which one is more romantic? Which one is more emotional? This one has a better feel than that one. You understand? And that is why secular music, if you put 100 secular music down, 80-85%.
What is the secular music?
Secular music are your Davido, Wizkid, Tenny.
Nigerian artists.
Secular music are music that are not God related, that is intended for a non-religious audience.
Not Nigerian artists then, because
it's general. You understand? Any music that does not talk about a God does not mean just God. It might be a small God. Anything that is not religious based as secular music. So, those music that Davido will sing, Wizkid will sing, Tenny will sing, Rema will sing, they are secular.
So they use minor scale.
Yes.
So is it gospel that now use major scale?
Gospel, they use major scale, they use minor scale, they use lot of scale, blues scales and all that. The gospel explore more style of music, you understand, than secular. Secular is kind of
just straight.
Yes, compacted. So we still have some secular music that does other kind of scales, but the percentage of those music are not much. You understand?
Yeah.
If you are going into secular music, your focus, your concentration should be on minor scale. That doesn't mean you cannot do major scale, other scales, but majorly that is what people, because it takes more effort to make good music with a major scale than making good music with minor scale. Minor scale will come with ease. When you hear a minor scale, the next challenge now is how do you identify? You know, when you are hearing this song, you should be able to identify that that's a minor, it's minor scale. This one is major scale. Okay? So before you can start getting that, you have to have practice, to have heard, to have been able to figure out. That is when you can hear it and say, this one is on minor scale, this one is on major scale.
Yes, sir.
So it means that you must be used to that sound. That sound needs to sync. La ti do re mi fa sol la sol fa mi re do ti la. La ti do re mi fa sol la. Now let me now begin to compose with it. This is how composition works. You remember the title of our course?
Composition arrangements.
Arrangements. Okay. So it's the basis of production, basis of music compositions and all that. These are the things you need when it comes to building up music. Okay. So now, if you want to compose song, and you want to compose a song on a minor scale, it means that every note in that song must be here. So what you are doing is that you are picking note at random. I can pick T, I can pick Re next, I can pick Mi next and pick Fa next. I can now go to La, I can pick Do, I can pick Re, I can pick Mi, I can pick La, and I will now sing it together. That is composition.
Like, it doesn't have to be...
It will not, and this is a scale. The scale is to guide you. The scale is the measurement of your music. So it's telling you that everything that will be in your music must come from this thing. That is what the scale is.
Pitch.
And they are brought
pitch.
About by pitch. Yes, generally, even this everything is
like pitch.
They are pitch. You understand?
So to get the pitch of this,
you have to be used to those sounds. La ti do re mi fa sol la. So this is what la ti. This is ti. So it has to be this pitch. Ti. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So ti. This will be what? This is ti do re. This is re. So ti re mi fa la, because fa sol la, this is la. Then you know, this is la ti do, this is la do re mi la. So ti re mi fa la do re mi la. Ti re mi fa la. You know, after fa is so fa. You have to call it that sound. Fa so la. But if you look at this, there is no so. So it's fa la fa la. That's so fa so la. You just omit so fa la fa la. You understand? It's just like saying 2 times 1 2, 2 times 2 4, 2 times 3 6, 2 times 4 8. It's easier because it follows each other. Now they will now say 2 times 4 is what? 8. They say 2 times 6 is what? 12. You have to. So you must also learn it with, just like when I say this is C, the next one will be what? D. The next one will be. Now you have learned that one is easier. But we now say you must not begin to read. I'll just say, where is F? Just point to it. That is the extent you have studied and knew it. Okay? So that means you must go above just learning la ti do re mi fa sol la. It's easier because it follows each other. Now, if we scatter it, can you still omit some note? From here you omit this one and this one, and you call this one straight up. Must I call your father, your mother, the firstborn, the secondborn, before I now call you. If I want to call you, I now want to remember your name. I'll now say, call your father's name. I'll call your mother's name. Call the firstborn. Call the. I will now remember your name. That's too old. So I must be able to see you and call your name. That's Ridwan. Oh, that's Tolu. That's Shayo. You understand? I must see them and know them. So the same logic to this. See this thing as person. So you must be able to see them and recognize them. Do. If this is do, this becomes what? Re. And this is what? Mi. And this is now la. That's fa. Mi. La. God bless you. Do you get the logic now? So you must see them as person, and you'll be able to what? Just go straight. Learning your piano, you are also training your sound sensitivity and your voice at the same time. So once you now start learning your minor scale too, you will be what? Reciting it along. So it will be helping your hearing, so that you will find beat making easier, and mixing and mastering too will be easier, because you have trained your ear to listen well, to be able to identify and differentiate between notes. Okay? Any question?
Awesome.